The Mexican-American labor leader and civil rights activist Cesar Chavez dedicated his life's work to what he called La Causa, the cause, the struggle of farm workers in the United States to improve their working and living conditions through organizing and negotiating contracts with their employers. Committed to the tactics of nonviolent resistance practiced by Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., Chavez founded the National Farm Workers Association, later the United Farm Workers of America, and won important victories to raise pay and improve working conditions for farm workers in the late 1960s and 1970s. Chavez was born in Yuma, Arizona on March 31, 1927. In the late 1930s, after losing his home, he and his family joined more than 300,000 people who moved to California during the Great Depression and became migrant farm workers. In 1952, Chavez was working at a lumberyard in San Jose when he became a grassroots organizer for the Community Service Organization, or the CSO, a Latino civil rights group. Over the next decade, he worked to register new voters and fight racial and economic discrimination, and rose to become the CSO's national director. Chavez resigned from the CSO in 1962 after other members refused to support his efforts to form a labor union for farm workers. That same year, he used his life savings to found the National Farm Workers Association, or the NFWA. Chavez knew firsthand the struggles of the nation's poorest and most powerless workers who labor to put food on the nation's tables while often going hungry themselves. Not covered by minimum wage laws, many made as little as 40 cents an hour and did not qualify for unemployment insurance. Previous attempts to unionize farm workers had failed as California's powerful agricultural industry fought back with all the weight of their money and their political power. Chavez was inspired by the nonviolent civil disobedience pioneered by Gandhi in India and the example of St. Francis of Assisi, the 13th century Italian nobleman who gave up all of his material wealth to live with and work on behalf of the poor. Working doggedly to build the NFWA alongside fellow organizer Dolores Huerta, Chavez traveled around San Joaquin and Imperial Valleys to recruit union members. Meanwhile, Helen Chavez worked in the fields to support the family as they struggled to stay afloat. In September 1965, the NFWA launched a strike against California's grape growers alongside the Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee, a Filipino-American labor group. The strike lasted 5 years and expanded into a nationwide boycott of California grapes. The boycott drew widespread support thanks to the highly visible campaign headed by Chavez, who led a 340-mile march from Delano to Sacramento in 1966 and undertook a well-publicized 25-day hunger strike in 1968. In the end, Cesar Chavez demonstrated to the world something that should never be forgotten, that we all have the power to leave a lasting impact.